Casper Ruud, born 22 December 1998, is a Norwegian professional tennis player. He is the first Norwegian man to win an ATP title, having won 8 250s, 7 of which were on clay courts, first to reach an ATP Tour Masters 1000 final, and first to reach a Grand Slam tournament final. He has a career-high doubles ranking of world number 133, achieved on 12 July 2021. Career. Junior tennis. Ruud reached the third round of the 2015 French Open boys singles event, losing to Corentin Denoli. He also reached the third round of the 2015 US Open boys singles and the second round of the 2015 Wimbledon boys singles, his best singles performances in the respective competitions in junior Grand Slams. In the 2015 Wimbledon boys doubles, Ruud made it to the semifinals together with partner Maja Kekmanovi, before losing to eventual champions Lee Hoon-am and Sumit Nagel. They were eliminated in the first round of the 2015 US Open boys doubles. In 2016, Ruud and Kekmanovi reached the semifinals of the 2016 French Open boys doubles, before losing to Yusuf Hossam and Jurabek Kerimov. 2016. Junior number 1, professional and top 250 debut. Ruud started the year as the world number 1 ranked junior player on January 4, making him the first Norwegian to do so. For the 2016 season, Ruud set his goals on playing futures tournaments and start climbing the ATP rankings. In February, he played his first futures final, which he ended up winning against Carlos Taberner in Peguera, Spain. He has since played 4 more finals, winning one of them against Mikkel Torpegaard in Karina, Finland in August. In September 2016, in his first ever ATP Challenger tournament, Ruud managed to win the Copa Sevilla after beating Taro Daniel in the final. By winning on his debut, Ruud became the 4th youngest to ever do so. In the tournament, he recorded his first wins over players ranked in the top 150. He knocked out top seed Indigo Cervantes in the quarterfinals, who at the time was ranked number 75 in the ATP rankings. Due to his win in his Challenger debut, Ruud received a wildcard to the 2016 Chengdu Open, his first ATP World Tour 250 Series tournament. Ruud lost to Victor Troicki in the first round. Ruud also qualified for the ITF Junior Masters, where he reached the final, losing to Hong Seong-chan. Ruud finished 2016 with a career-high ranking of number 225 in the ATP rankings. 2017. ATP 500 semifinals, Masters 1000 debut, top 150. After impressing in 2016 and climbing the ATP ranking, Ruud lost in the third and final qualifying round of the 2017 Australian Open to Riley Opelka. Ruud then received a wild card into the ATP 500 event 2017 Rio Open, where he defeated Rogerio Dutra Silva, Roberto Carvalho's Bina, and Thiago Monteiro to advance to his first ATP level semifinal. This made him the youngest to reach an ATP 500 semifinal since Borna Ori at the 2014 Swiss Indoors. Ruud was defeated by Pablo Carreno Busta in the semifinals, but reached a career-high ranking of number 133. Ruud received a wildcard into the 2017 Miami Open, marking his first appearance at an ATP Masters 1000 tournament. 2018. Major debuts. In 2018, Ruud qualified for his first Grand Slam at the 2018 Australian Open after going through the qualifying competition. This made him the first Norwegian to qualify for a Grand Slam main draw in 17 years. He won in the first round against Quentin Hollies before losing to Diego Schwartzman in the second round. He would lose to Schwartzman again at the Rio Open. Later on in the season, he showed continuous good form and reached 2 ATP Challenger finals in 2 weeks. The first one he lost against Italian Gianluigi Quinzi in Francavilla-Almere, and then he lost to Pedro Sousa in the Braga Open 2 weeks later. A few weeks later, Ruud continued his good form and qualified for the main draw of the French Open for the first time, after going through the qualifiers without losing a set. In the first round, he defeated Jordan Thompson to match his achievement at the Australian Open. He lost to Albert Ramos Vinolas in the second round. In July, he achieved the biggest win of his career thus far, when he beat defending champion and former world number 3, David Ferrer, in straight sets at the 2018 Swedish Open. Later that year, Ruud qualified for the US Open for the first time, going through the qualifiers without dropping a set. He lost to Guido Pella in the first round. After struggling with finding consistency in his form after the summer, Ruud finished off the 2018 season by reaching the semifinal of 3 consecutive Challenger tournaments, which brought him close to his career-high ATP ranking, going into a new season at number 112. 2019. Top 100, Next Gen ATP Finals. In the 2019 season, Ruud lost in the first qualifying round at the Australian Open, but qualified for the 2019 Rio Open and won against Carlos Berlach and 5th seed Joao Sousa before losing to Laszlo Ir in 2 sets. The result saw him climb to a tied career-high ranking of 108. The following week he reached the semi-final of the 2019 Brussels Open, beating Thiago Monteiro, top seed Joao Sousa and Hugo Dellien, before losing to Christian Garin in 2 sets. The result meant that Ruud climbed inside the top 100 on the ATP ranking for the first time of his career the following week, with a ranking of number 94, becoming the first Norwegian to do so since his father, Casper Ruud, in December 1994. In April, at the US Men's Clay Court Championships, Ruud reached his first ever ATP Tour level final. In the final he lost to Christian Garin, though his result meant that he equaled his father Casper Ruud in reaching the final of an ATP Tour event, being the only 2 Norwegians to do so. At the 2019 Italian Open, Ruud won his first match in an ATP Tour Masters 1000 tournament. After coming through the qualifiers he went on to beat Dan Evans and Nick Kyrgios, before losing in the 3rd round to Juan Martín del Potro in straight sets. At the 2019 French Open, Ruud beat Ernest Gulbis and 29th seed Matteo Berrettini, before losing in straight sets against Roger Federer in the 3rd round. Ruud also reached the 2nd round at the doubles event alongside Maja Kekmanovi, after knocking out former winners and 12th seed Ivan Dodig and Eduard Roger Vasselin, before losing in 3 sets to Federico Delbonis and Guillermo Duran. In July, Ruud played his first Wimbledon Championships at the 2019 Wimbledon, losing in the 1st round to 9th seed John Isner. At the 2019 Generali Open Kitzbühel, Ruud made it to the semifinals after beating Pablo Carreno Busta, Matthias Bachinger and Pablo Cuevas, before losing to Albert Ramos Vinolas. At the 2019 US Open, Ruud once again teamed up with Maja Kekmanovi in doubles. They made it to the 3rd round after eliminating 3rd seeds Raven Klaasen and Michael Venus in the 2nd round. At the 2019 St. Petersburg Open, Ruud made the quarterfinals before losing in 3 sets to Borna Oridot. After his best season so far, Ruud qualified for the 2019 Next Generation ATP Finals, where he got knocked out in the round robin. 2020. First ATP title, career high ranking in top 25. At the 2020 ATP Cup, Ruud led Norway to a 2-1 victory over the US in the 1st round robin match by beating John Isner in 3 tied sets, before teaming up with Viktor Durasovic to beat Austin Krajicek and Rajiv Ram in doubles. In the 2nd round robin singles match, Ruud beat world No. 12 Fabio Fognini in straight sets. In February, Ruud made his way to the final of the 2020 Argentina Open, where he defeated Pedro Sousa in the final, thus becoming the first tennis player from Norway to win an ATP Tour title and also appear in more than one ATP Tour final. At the same time he surpassed his father Christian's ranking of number 39 on the ATP ranking, setting a new record as the highest-ranked Norwegian player in ATP history, with a ranking of number 34 the following week on 17 February 2020. 2 weeks after his first title, Ruud reached his 2nd final in a month at the 2020 Chile Open, but lost in 3 sets against Thiago Seyboth-Wild. At the 2020 US Open, he reached the 3rd round after defeating Mackenzie McDonald in a 5-set match in the 1st round. In the 2nd round he faced Amaru Sivuri, who retired in the 3rd set. Ruud moved to the 3rd round, but was defeated in straight sets by Matteo Berrettini. At the 2020 Italian Open, Ruud notched 4 match wins, including a quarterfinal victory over top 10 player Matteo Berrettini, to reach that tournament's semifinals as the first ever Norwegian, once again surpassing the record of his father Casper Ruud, who reached the quarterfinals of Monte Carlo in 1997. Casper then lost in 2 sets to Novak Djokovic in the semifinals. The result sent him up to a new career high of number 30 the following week. Another semifinal at the 2020 Hamburg European Open the following week sent him up to number 25 in the rankings. At the 2020 French Open, Ruud once again reached the 3rd round, where was then beaten by Dominic Thiem. 2021. 5 titles, historic top 10 and ATP Finals debuts. At the 2021 Australian Open, Ruud progressed to the 4th round in a Grand Slam for the first time. He beat Jordan Thompson, Tommy Paul and Radu Albert, before retiring against Andrei Rublev after losing the first 2 sets. The result equaled his father's best placement at the Australian Open and at a Grand Slam. Ruud re-entered the top 25 to a career-high ranking of number 24 on 22 February 2021. A few weeks later he reached the quarterfinals at Acapulco, but once again withdrew due to injury before his match against Alexander Zverev started. On his debut at the 2021 Monte Carlo Masters, Ruud recorded his 2nd top 10 win after beating Diego Schwartzman in straight sets in the 2nd round. He then defeated Pablo Carreno Busta and defending champion Fabio Fognini to reach his 2nd Masters 1000 semifinal, where he lost to Andrei Rublev. At the 2021 BMW Open, Ruud reached the semifinals before losing in straight sets to Nicolas Basilishvili. At the 2021 Mutual Madrid Open in another debut, Ruud recorded his first top 5 win in the third round by defeating Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets. He went on to record a straight sets victory in the quarterfinals over Alexander Bublik to reach his third straight ATP Masters 1000 semifinal on clay. In the semifinal he lost to Matteo Berrettini. As a result of his performance in Madrid, Ruud entered the top 20 for the first time in his career, rising to a new career high ranking of number 16 on 10 May 2021. At the 2021 Geneva Open, Ruud reached his fourth consecutive semifinal on the ATP Tour and then reached his first final of the year and fourth final in his career after defeating Pablo Andujar in straight sets. He defeated Denis Shapovalov in straight sets to win his second ATP title. At the 2021 Wimbledon Championships, Ruud and his partner Andre Göransson made the quarterfinals of the men's doubles tournament. As a result, he climbed to a career high in doubles of world number 133 on 12 July 2021. At the 2021 Swedish Open, Ruud won his second title of the year and third in total after beating Federico Coria in the final. The following week, Ruud won his third title of 2021 with victory at the Swiss Open, beating Hugo Gaston in the final. Ruud would then claim victory a week later in Kitzbühel, defeating Pedro Martinez in the final to win his fourth title of the season and fifth of his career. As a result, Ruud moved up to a new career high ranking of number 12 on 2 August 2021. He became the first ATP player since Andy Murray in October 2011 to win 3 titles in as many weeks. His winning streak ended at the 2021 Canada Masters after he was defeated in the quarterfinals by Stefanos Tsitsipas. As a result, he reached a career high ranking in singles of world no. 11 on 16 August 2021. The following week he reached another Masters 1000 quarterfinal at the 2021 Cincinnati Masters, but lost to Alexander Zverev in straight sets. On 13 September, Ruud reached the number 10 ranking in the world, becoming a top 10 player for the first time and the first Norwegian player to accomplish this feat. At 22, he was also the youngest player in the top 10. At the end of September, Ruud was selected to play the 2021 Laver Cup for Team Europe. He won the first match of the tournament against Riley Opelka in a tournament Team Europe went on to win 14-1. At the start of October, Ruud won his first ever hardcourt tournament and his fifth leading tournament of the year at the 2021 San Diego Open. He defeated Andy Murray, Lorenzo Sonego, Grigor Dimitrov and in the final Cameron Norrie 6-0, 6-2 in 62 minutes. Ruud began his Rolex Paris Masters run by defeating Alexander Bublik in straight sets, the second set by a score of 6-0. His third-round victory over Marcus Giron confirmed Ruud's spot at the ATP Finals, where he made his debut at the year-end championships. At the 2021 ATP Finals, Ruud reached the semifinals after losing to Novak Djokovic before beating Cameron Norrie and Andrei Rublev in the round-robin. In the semifinal, Ruud lost in straight sets to Daniil Medvedev. Ruud finished the year as world number 8 in the singles rankings. 2022, first and historic Grand Slam final and world number 6. Ruud did not participate in 2022 Australian Open due to an injury. Shortly after his recovery, he entered the 2022 Argentina Open, at which he defeated Diego Schwartzman in the final and clinched his 7th career ATP singles title. He reached his 4th Masters 1000 semifinal at the 2022 Miami Open by defeating Henri Laaksonen, Alexander Bublik and Cameron Norrie, and later earning his first win against world number 4 Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinal. Ruud then defeated Francisco Cerundolo in the semifinals to advance to his first Masters 1000 final. In the final he lost to 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets. Following this result, Ruud reached a career high ranking of number 7 in the world on 4 April 2022. At the Italian Open, Ruud reached the semifinals by defeating 13th seed Denis Shapovalov before losing to world number 1 Novak Djokovic. He next defended his title at the 2022 Geneva Open, defeating Joao Sousa in the longest championship match of the season in both time, 3 hours 4 minutes, and games, 36. He became the 6th player to win multiple tour-level titles in 2022. At the French Open, Ruud defeated Jo Wilfried Tsonga, who was playing his last professional match, Emil Rusivuri, Lorenzo Sonego, and 12th seed Hubert Hurkacz to advance to his first ever major quarterfinal. Becoming the first Norwegian to reach the 4th round and beyond at this major. In the first all-Scandinavian French Open quarterfinal, he defeated Holger Rune to set up a match with also first-time Roland Garros semifinalist Marin Eilidot. He reached the final with a 4-sets win over Cilic. He became the first Norwegian man in history to reach a Grand Slam final. As a result, he moved to a new career-high singles ranking of world number 6. National representation: Davis Cup. He became a part of the Norwegian Davis Cup team in 2015 and together with countryman Viktor Durasovic promoted Norway from Group 3 Europe Zone to Group 2 Europe/Africa Zone. In the 2016 Davis Cup, Ruud and Durasovic lost 3-2 to Lithuania in the first round. In the playoffs they beat Luxembourg 3-2 to stay in the Group 2 Europe/Africa Zone. Norway remained in Group 2 Europe/Africa Zone in 2017 and 2018 before winning their 2019 tie against Georgia, securing them a place in the playoff for World Group I as a result of changes in the Davis Cup format. They won the playoff against Barbados and thereby qualified for World Group I. Personal life. Ruud is the son of former professional tennis player Casper Ruud. He has two sisters. He grew up in the Snorøya district of Bærum with Rafael Nadal as his tennis idol.